Well, hello and welcome. Welcome to Joyful Mondays, wherever you are. Is it good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day? Maybe to a few of you, good night, but wherever you are, you're always welcome here. The door will always be open. I am Joy Ruffen. My work with you is as a leadership and style consultant, a signature style specialist, speaker, executive producer, TV host, and podcaster. It's all connected. And every Monday, when I come to you at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be talking about current topics or anything that is of interest in the line of work that myself and all of the beautiful souls that I'm surrounded by are all about. So, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about priority, presence, power. What choices do you have? Where do you find the balance for you? A key word. And our featured guest speaker, who's coming up a little bit later, is going to share a lot about something that you're going to love. And I'll leave it at that. But when I say to you that we are all here to find and individualize ourselves to all the gifts that we were given, and many of us, most of us, were given more than just one. We were given several. So what are your priorities? What is the presence that you want to project? And how do you want to do that? It's a good topic. And this is just a seed beginning. But friends, welcome. And let me share with you, because my love for quotes is never ending. So I always start off with a quote or two. This was by one of my favorites, because back in the day, way back in the day, and he's still popular today, Mark Twain, even though there's been a wee bit of controversial about him, here's what he had to say. To change your life, you need to change your priorities. Ooh. Mark Twain. It's true. Some of these quotes and some of these sayings that all of us have heard and we're familiar with and we know, it's still sometimes not easy to wrap our head, heart, soul, and mind around. And this connects and ties into that. He says, if your presence doesn't make an impact, your absence won't make a difference. Trey Smith. Hello, Susan. Good to see you here. Let me tell you that this is also true, because your presence, but they're words that we all love, don't we? When it comes to alliteration and acronyms and anagrams, we all kind of use them as best fits us. Samantha, always good to see you. My beautiful souls are joining us here today. Always good to share with you. I needed that today. Well, good for you. We all need this from time to time. We know and we hear and we recognize and we embed, but sometimes we don't really embody what's in and needs to be present with all of us. When we talk about presence, we talk about leadership, we talk about that word that is so misused so often, power, which aligns and ties into the other words that I mentioned. Your presence and how you project, it does matter. And especially when you put heart and soul together and you tie them together. So Walt Whitman, anybody remember Walt Whitman? Oh my God, if you read the classics, I don't know what they teach in school today, but I fell in love with his poetry. Way back in the day, he had to say, we convince by our presence, and then we speak. Our thoughts and our actions speak louder than, and hopefully they're aligned and they're connected. Isn't that the prayer? We're all here to personalize and individualize ourselves, not to copy, emulate, and covet what someone else has, to applaud and celebrate them, but find ourselves. So when it comes to choices and the balance for you, how are you utilizing it for you? What and how are you using it? Here, and this is something that I just came to because it came to me hot and heavy one night in a dream. Don't you love that? Imagination, creativity, and dreams. I think they're all connected. It said to me, in a way, you're relating, connecting to that discerning 3 to 5% of the whole world's population. Those who truly are here to recognize, to acknowledge, and to understand their power, their wisdom. And if love is not attached, doesn't compute. Because that's why we're all here, to be our individualized selves at the highest vibration, which we're continually, the journey never ends, which is what we're continuing to do. And female power, that's what we're about here. It's all about the divine feminine. And when I say divine feminine, my friends, I'm not knocking the divine masculine, because they are divine as well. But we are here now in this period of our lives, in this time, for this universe, this galaxy, to rise to the highest and the best that is within all of us. All of the things that so many of us have been programmed, conditioned, and sexualized to, especially, I'm always losing my earrings, especially when it comes to women, that day is over for all of us. And for those who are in leadership, and for those who first off know thyself and beginning to get to know who you are, that's why my featured guest speaker today, we're going to talk about wholeness. And that's why we're talking about balance and choices. And how are you prioritizing them for you? Your leadership style has to be filled with the pure core essence of you. And that base, the prayer, as my mom would say, has to be about love, not judging. We don't judge here, and we're not critical. Discerning, yes, because you can't help what you see. You can't help what you feel, but you don't judge it. Because if you are evolving and if you're growing, then you allow others to be where they are at and to do what they're there to do, because they're still like you, me, all of us, growing, evolving. That's what real female power and the divine feminine is all about. You are rising to be all the best of the best within you. And here's what I'm going to get a teleprompter, but until I do, I'm going to the side here to see what I have to say. The divine feminine is all about complete respect of the differences between men and women and not judging them. Martin Luther King said, power is the ability to achieve your purpose at the highest level that you can give of love of yourself. He didn't say it would be easy. Ears open, mouth closed, lots of love. Woo, yes, ears open, eyes can see, mouth closed. I like that. I love that, Samantha. Thank you for that. It's true, because so many of us have put way on the back burner what we see and what we know isn't right. And that's why I said to you, for me and for all of us here in this group community of leading ladies, leaving legacies, we're about building and leaving a legacy without judgment. But we are discerning about those who want to be in the 3 to 5%, who are looking for the best of the best and seeking it for themselves and being open and honest about it. That's what it's about. And the time for excuses for all of us, and especially for us women, it's over. The programming and conditioning, the sexualizing, the 2 B's and the V, I call it, hopefully diplomatically, we don't need to be about that anymore. We're so much more. And that time is now, where we have to prioritize our presence and the power of our divine femininity and where we are and how we choose to showcase, present, and allow it to shine at its highest vibration. That's what I wanted to open with, because I want you to be thinking about, here's another one I want to share with you. Eckhart Tolle, most people know him. He said we have to find a balance between the sexes. So I end with this quote by Oscar Wilde. I have the simplest taste. I'm always satisfied with the best. I love that. I fell in love with many of the people that I bring to you, the classics, the new, the current, the old, back in the day, because the wisdom, the love that they shared, some of them found themselves, some of them didn't. We're all here at different levels and times on this journey for discovery. That's what it's all about. And to be and find all of the good, the best that's within us. Isn't it wonderful? This is a wonderful time for all of us to be in, because the change is just never ending. This technology is mind-boggling. Now, I'm going to take a quick little reset here, because I really want to bring up my featured guest speaker today, because we're going to be talking about wholeness. But before I do that, I want to take a quick little reset. And if you're out there in the wonderful world, the community of online presence, technology, I'd love it if you would join us in Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. This is a group that we are building. We are birthing this group. It's because we want you to come with your vision, your mission, and your purpose. And we want you to come in, become a member, and share that with all of the other beautiful souls that are in the group. Your assignment is to connect. It's all about change, connection, and collaboration. That's what we're about here. And you're invited to join us. So please come and join us. And then the other thing that I want to know, to share with you, because it's becoming my foundational premise, the base that I ride on. Know thyself. The journey never ends, but we keep escalating up, up, up to get to the best of ourselves. And when we talk about human design and my designing you, the freebie for you, and we're going to talk a little bit more about you are a beautiful puzzle, because you are, we all are. Find those missing pieces. Find those pieces and put them into the puzzle to complete the wholeness of you, which is what we're going to talk about with my featured guest speaker today. And I want you to just take a glance at her graphic that she brought to us. This is her book, The Power of Wholeness, Dr. Verlene Crawford. But I want you to take a screenshot or a snapshot, because the missing piece of the puzzle to create your heart desire. Isn't that exciting? I think it is. So now what I want you to do, my friends, we don't have much time here. Time flies. Oh, that's what we call change. But I want you to relax, whatever that means to you, and sit back and help me to welcome our featured guest speaker. And let me just tell you that she is a transformational coach. Now that entails a lot of different things, but we're going to talk about this book that she wrote, which is The Power of Wholeness, and a lot of other things that connects and ties in with it. So grab whatever makes you comfortable and sit back and help me welcome Dr. Verlene Crawford. Dr. Crawford, welcome.
Hello, hello. What a wonderful beginning, Joy. That was beautiful. I loved every minute.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I love every minute that you and I spend together, because your work excites me. And it excites me because we are in, especially for women, men too, but I'm dealing and working and loving women, because it is our time for the biggest transformation ever. And I love your book, The Power of Wholeness. Now we could go on and on and on. And then you added for me an integration process. So tell us a little bit about how you came to this book, Verlene. You've given me permission to call you that. And then share with us what it's about, because the power of wholeness is very powerful.
Thank you. Yes, the everything that you said leading up to my coming on fits perfectly, because you're talking about knowing ourselves. And that is what really prompted me to study deeply how we create our reality. When I was 22, I met a man in an elevator. I was sad at the time because a friend was sick, and he noticed and said, I would like to tell you that I found an answer to my life a year ago. He said I'd lost everything, and a man came up to me and told me to make a list of the things I wanted and the date by which it would happen. And everything on the list has come true. And he had put on that he would own a building on Wilshire Boulevard. He'd have a Thunderbird convertible, all of these things. And he then showed me that he had received all of it. And I didn't really believe him, but I thought it was interesting. And before he left, he handed me a book, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. He said, read the book, make your list. So I made my list. And many of you have done that. You've made vision boards, you've made a list, you've made written down different ideas, or even drawn pictures, perhaps. And everything on my list came true. And you put a date. Okay. That's the thing that's often missing when we do that. All right. That's all lovely. But then I started telling everybody about it. And some people had wonderful results, and some people didn't. It missed. It didn't come through. So my question and my research since the age of 22, and that's a lot of years, I got to tell you, I was to find out what was the missing piece of the puzzle. What is it, that stops us? And people talk about belief systems. Well, you've got to get rid of your old beliefs. Well, okay, but how? And why? And what way? And so what happened for me, I had a very bad experience of being stabbed in a parking garage by an assailant and surviving, thank God. And I'm not going to go into the details. It's in the book if you're interested. It's a little bit of it. Uh, and I happened about 5 years later, even after I'd been going to a psychologist, I still had PTSD. I'd still react to things jumpily and everything. And I went to this workshop. It was an NLP workshop, and they had an integration technique. And he said, let's have a volunteer. And I waved my hand and went up there. And he was able, through this integration process, to erase the PTSD. And I started using the integration process for everything. Anytime I was upset, anytime I was sad, anything, and then I started to realize, use it to find out what is stopping you. And I know that some people think of there's a Satan, there's this. I think it's all comes from within us. That we have different beliefs that we have brought in that we're not aware of usually. And those beliefs are there stopping us. And the way I think of it, to give you an analogy, is we think of ourselves captain of our ship, master of our fate. And I see it as a pirate ship, and the crew is planning mutiny.
I love that.
Yes. And so you've got these different people going around, and they say, one goes, I want to go to the island. Another one, I want to go home. I want to go fight that other ship. I mean, every part of you is wanting to do different things, right? And that's all the voices that are in their head that are telling you to do this. Like you said, making choices. Do I do this? Do I do that? Do I do this? And you have all these people on your ship that are driving you crazy, right? And some people more than ever. So the integration process that I then developed and kept working with is very easy, but it takes a different mindset to do it, okay? Because these are beliefs that you put in, and you have conflicting beliefs, okay? I want to be rich. I don't know. Rich people aren't that nice. I like my friends. So you've got all this argument going on about the 4 cornerstones of life. And I think of it as a building. You've got 4 cornerstones, and you've got your health, your wealth, your love and relationships, and your self-expression, how you express yourself in the world. And if any one of those 4 cornerstones is missing, the building starts to tilt. And sometimes more than one is missing. So the idea is that, let's say you wanted to talk about, well, you and I did one about wealth. I did one with another lady the other day, and she did wealth as a integration. And afterwards, she got a $20,000 contract, which was like, in less than a week, which was pretty cool. And so the idea, and I want to tell you about it because it's in the book, and I use all the different examples of how to do it with different things in your life. And what you do is you say, okay, there's a part of me that wants to be wealthy. Yeah, that's good. And another part says, yeah, I'm okay as I am, etc. Okay, so the part that says you get asked that part that wants to be wealthy, all the advantages. And then you ask all the advantages of not being wealthy. And that's where the trick comes in, because you are used to thinking of that's all bad, right? It's bad not to be wealthy. It'd be much better to be wealthy. But there are advantages. And what happens often when people are struggling with money is the part of you that thinks there's advantages of not having money has got a much longer list. Okay, what would be some of the advantages? I'd have to pay more taxes. I'd have to pay more attention to my money than I'd want to bother with. I'd have to invest money, and I don't know how. My friends wouldn't like me because they'd think I was haughty. All those different reasons, right, that starts to come up. So what you do is you get both of them, and now it's a negotiation. It's diplomacy, which we wish we had on a wider scale in our country and the world. You have the part of you that wants to be wealthy, the part of you, you ask the one who doesn't want to be particularly wealthy, maybe have enough, but you know, I might get lazy if I don't have enough. If I
Oh,
have money, right? I'd be really
yes,
lazy. What do I
yes.
do?
Verlaine, I
Yes.
love this description that you're giving us. And most of us have heard many, many times about the list and the vision board and your beliefs and the missing pieces and NLT and all of that. But I love your pirate ship and all those people running around driving you crazy. And many of us make that analogy, that little child, that inner child, several different versions of him or her, that kind of thing. But your description is so graphic and I love it. And it does tie into our beliefs, however and wherever they came from, and how we still keep them within our presence, our being. So
Yes.
all of this is connected and tying into what we talked about. How, what is it? Because we have to go on to this intuition and guidance system, which you want to talk about briefly. But how does that integration process that you use give a quick analysis of that? And by the way, all of the beautiful goddesses are here today. Susan, Samantha, and Sonia, thank you for sharing time with us. We know how active we all are. But what is this integration process? Give us like an inkling. So, well, first off, we're going to put up your book a little bit later so they can get all your information. But give us a little bit more about what that entails. I heard you say the guy gave you the technique, and then you found it to be very...
Yeah, then I developed it further. So, yes, so you've got these two parts. You asked this one part if there were a way that you could be wealthy and you could have all the things that they're on his list. It wouldn't be difficult to pay taxes. Your friends would still love you. I mean, you turn it so that it see that all those advantages could be there with wealth. And then you ask it to go to the creative part of you to come up with 3 ways that can happen. And yeah, I see that as a beautiful room with golden light and angels and computers that have all the answers. But you don't have to know how it's going to change. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is hold the 2 hands up if they've agreed and bring them together. And you have them hug each other, bring them up to your heart, usually with your eyes closed, and see them, all parts of you forming a huddle around them, sending them love and healing, and your higher self sending love and healing to all parts of you. Then you see them walking together and sitting down on a bench and talking about how they're going to work together, how we're going to make things happen. And I have to tell you, I used it in the business world. I was vice president of a high-tech company in Silicon Valley, and I had the opportunity to go to AT&T to get a contract. I sat on the same side of the table, not on the opposite side, same side of the table as the lady with whom I was negotiating. And we went through it and see the advantages of everything on that list for both of us. Smooth as silk. Smooth as... In fact, she was the only one that would want to see me at Comdex or something and have lunch. Because what did we created a symbiotic movement and energy. And that's what you do inside of yourself. The most important thing to realize that when you change it inside yourself, you're changing the outside. You're changing the people in your life, the events in your life to match that new energy. And and again, every person that's outside of you, this is tricky, is a representative of a part of you showing up to show you what you haven't wanted to think about or feel about it. Now, someone walks up to you and say, "Oh, you look beautiful today." Great. That shows you that you have that belief about you today, right? Someone shows up and says, "God, what's the matter with you? You look so sad." You didn't like them saying that, but yeah, you are so sad. So everything that's coming to you, you have to look and say, okay, that's a part of me. And what I've done when that happens in work or with family is I go off by myself and I put that person and what they said on one part of me and the other, and I bring them together. I find out what they're doing for me. And you know what? It has completely changed the way the interaction takes place.
Oh, I love
it. Immediately. Either they're no more long in your life.
Yes, I love this for so many reasons, Verlaine, because what you're speaking about is so much more to it. But all of the people who come into your life when they come to give you and to share with you or to take from you what you no longer need. And you have to recognize that,
That's right.
especially the people that for whatever reason you say, I don't care for them, I don't like them. Well, what is it that you don't care about them? What is it that you don't like? Because part of that is within you, might not be showing up. But this is what you're saying in different verbiage. I just love this. You and I can have conversations that are never ending. I want to talk to one more thing. We have a few minutes here. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience, which is you speaking about in a way. But share with us a little bit more about that, because this has always been my belief from the age of about 13 until I was able to really decipher what that really meant. When you say we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, share with us a little bit about that. We have a couple of minutes.
Okay, we all know that we have a soul. We've been
Yes.
told we have a soul. Soul is a huge energetic being of light. That's who we are. And that being is so many different aspects of life. And my belief is it's all different lives, all different experiences. And that energy is flowing through us. And of course, it's coming from God, the energy of the universe, the source, the creative source, and it's coming through us. And so we have the opportunity to know that we are far greater than just our mind, our body, our emotions. We are this beautiful being of light that can observe what's happening around us, look out at the world. We don't have to be affected by everything that's happening. We can just look at it and witness it.
Yes.
The more we can sit back and witness the world, the easier it is. I see it really like Shakespeare said, that it is a great play and everybody is the actors on it. And you can there's so many different players and so many different plays going on. And so you have your play right now. Whomever is listening,
right,
have your play. Mm-hmm. Do you want to change it? If you do, you rewrite some of it. Going forward, it's like you're making a movie. In the middle of the movie, you say, oh, I don't like that next scene. I think I'll change it. I don't like the ending that would come from the scenes I'm living. Let's change the dynamic. And you are in charge of that. Now, yes, we have the power of God coming through us, and your intuition, your inner knowing is that guidance system. I call it the UPS, the Universal Guidance System, UGS.
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
The Universal Guidance System is there. It's there 100% of the time. And when you get an intuitive hit, it can be a feeling. Listen, baby, I'm telling you, because that stabbing took place because when I saw that man, it was a man dressed in a guard uniform coming into a little room under the building. And I heard run and I argued. Okay. That's life and death, baby. Life and death. When you don't, you're in your car that says you hear turn the wheel and you don't do it. Boom. Right. And it will take you to the best that you can possibly go without any knowing. When you talk about choices, the more you turn it over to God, you turn it over, you turn your life over, you say, listen, I know I've got free will, but thy will be done. And as soon as that energy comes through you, it led me to my soulmate, whom I've been with 55 years, who I love every single moment of the day. And and incredible jobs that took me traveling around the world.
Oh, Verlaine.
Because what? I listened.
You listen.
And I obeyed. I was terrific.
You listen. That's intuition. And that's what you also said earlier, which is it's not about being judgmental. It's about letting that beam of light and love flow through you. And you see, and you know that everybody's on their journey doing the best they can at the time that they're on it. And we don't judge them. We see, and as Samantha said, you see, you hear, and you just keep moving. It's beautiful.
Can I say one more thing for the ladies?
Yes, one more. We have 1 second.
Okay. We are women, right? And we are in jobs, and no matter what, if we're attractive in any way, we are attract sexual interest, all right? You know what I did? And I didn't have any of that. If you believe in chakras, you don't have to believe in chakras. Chakras are energy centers, okay? You have the sexual chakra is located at your stomach. What you do is you pretend, here it is, like a light open. It's a circle of light and energy. you close it and you open your heart. You
Yes.
open your heart wide, and so they feel the love, but you are blocked. They are blocked from thinking sexually about you.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing things. It works.
Verlaine, thank you for that. That is a powerful ending, because our programming, conditioning, and sexualizing, we think as women that it's about the two B's and the V, and we think to work, to show, and to be sexy. Sex is, as Sonia said, a mindset, and it's a lot of different things. So that's a great ending. My lady love, I could just go with you and be with you forever, because I love what you're about and what you do, and just continue and keep going. I want for my engineer to put up your graphic, because I want people to take a screenshot and a snapshot of this. Make sure you connect with Verlaine. She's a powerhouse of information, and her integration process is powerful. And I'm going to be working with her with that. But in the meantime, my friends, always a pleasure to spend. Verlaine, thank you, thank you, thank you. She's going to put you in the green room, and I'm going to say so long for now. We always go over. I don't know. It's hard to stop when the conversation is so good. And ladies, all of my beloved souls that are here today sharing time and space, you're in my heart. You're always welcome here. It's always good to see you. I know how active we are and how difficult it is sometimes to get here. And many of you watch the replay. Thank you for that. Be and stay well. And this is the beginning of the week. It's Joyful Monday. Make this the best week ever. Always remember that from my heart to your heart, much, much love. Embody, embrace, take it in. It belongs to you. And let's share this love throughout the universe. Make it a great week, my friends. All the best. Much love. Cheers.